What is up, everyone? Maxlin here, and welcome back to my channel. Surprise, surprise, this is not a video that I normally do. Normally, I would have a transcription video up where I have the music playing in the background, a piano version of a song that I like, and have the sheet music rolling through. Or more recently, I'd have a piano roll going in the background. No, instead, this is actually going to be the first video of its kind, more of a vlog type, and I hope to make this a series. This would be the first episode of this series. I'm going to call it Themindhere. It's a play of words on the pseudonym that I put on my works whenever I publish it, called The Guy Here. And I'm putting mind in there because, well, this is going to be looking at the process of how I make these transcriptions. So it'll be a look into my mind. Now, what this video is going to be, in the background, there's going to be a time lapse of the transcription process. This is a screenshot of my screen, what I see when I'm working on these videos. And I'm going to do a voiceover in the background to talk about the process of how I make these transcriptions and then make them into videos. And while I'm at it, I'm also going to be talking about various other topics that come to mind. These topics might be related to what I'm doing, the song, or just what I'm feeling. It's going to be more of an update to you all. I know these videos, my transcription videos, don't come out quite often. I've been consistently doing something like 4 months or half a year. So I'm going to try to make these more of a bi-weekly event, so then I can give you a good update and also just share my process. And if you guys see anything that you feel like could be improved or any comment suggestions, I'm welcome and open to it. Right, so why am I doing this? This is quite different. Well, transparency is always nice. If people can see the work process that goes into the final product, it will make the work more authentic to people. Not only that, but I would also appreciate feedback on the process of me getting to that transcription. I've had plenty of feedback on the final transcription, but it would be nice to have people critique or just to comment on how I get there. Maybe I can improve it and be much more streamlined. And hey, if nobody watches this video, it's for my own documentation purposes, to document my progress. So if nobody watches it, the video is for me too, so that's fine. Another reason why is my communication skills could use some working. I am fully aware that the first video, since this will be the first video where I'm talking extensively, not counting the forbidden one in the past, it will have plenty of mistakes and I will look back on it and cringe, but this is the process of me building up my communication skills. So I'm going to practice that through these videos, and hopefully you guys will find the content entertaining, but also maybe grow up with me and the process of my communication skills. And also, life's too short. I'm going to try something new. This is something that I've wanted to do for a while. I've seen other YouTubers do it, and it brings more life to the channel. And I want to be able to have that conversation with my viewers about how I'm getting there. And hey, maybe in the future I'll become better at it. Alright, so enough talking about the video itself. Let's start talking about the process. So as you may have seen in the previous part of this video, I started off with in the program called Musescore. I've actually been using Musescore for quite a while. 2 or 3 years back, ever since I started posting videos. I like Musescore for plenty of reasons, but a few of the more important reasons are, well, first, it's free. I don't have to pay anything for it, and I can make all these wonderful transcriptions out of it. Not only that, but it's nice to use. It has a clean UI, and it has a very intuitive layout. That makes it good for people who are just beginning, but it also has plenty of functionality for those who are more advanced users. Right, so when I first opened up Musescore, I'm at the piano, by the way. Whenever I do this, I'm at the piano so I can test out all the chords and all the melodies, make sure I can actually find the key and time, volume, etc., etc. In no way am I perfect pitch, so that's why I need to have that piano with me. When I start any transcription, I start with putting in the song characteristics, like the artist, the name of the song, and my name in there. Then I put in the key, the tempo, the time signature, find that out all on the piano. And you'll actually notice that halfway through the time lapse, you'll find that I switched keys because I found out that I was using the wrong key the entire time. Now, they were pretty close together. I changed from E to B, but the chords weren't working right, so halfway through I found out, and you can change that later. You might also find that maybe a different key actually sounds nice. It may not be that you messed up, but it just sounds better. So after the setup, I begin by finding that melody on the piano. I like to break this down into pieces. That way I can slowly build on it. The melody is first and foremost the most important part because that is the part I want to usually keep consistent. This is the part that I want to make sure that it matches mostly with the video. It could be a different key, but I want it to be the same melody. I can fudge around with the bass, but the melody is crucial. Now, figuring out the melody involves me playing it out on the piano because I can't directly hear it and then put it into the sheet music. But then when I play it on the piano, I can actually visualize and see how the intervals work, and then I can actually write it out. Sometimes there's a gap in the melody, but I just leave that blank and then backfill it later with whatever I feel is fit for the piece I have so far. And once I have the melody in, then I can finally start moving on to harmonizing it. This step involves finding chords that matches the melody and gives it a good taste per se. And this is the part where I generally spend a lot of time listening to the original song over and over again just to make sure that those chords actually sound nice. And it doesn't matter at this stage how I notate it, but for this piece, the beginning part, I put whole notes. I use whole notes because it felt calmer, and some of the other parts I use arpeggios because there was more movement to it. Now with this transcription, I decided to try something new. I actually went ahead and wrote in what each part of the song felt like, whether it was calming or whether it was moody or upbeat. I actually wrote that into the sheet music, and the reason why I did this was to make it as a guide for me so that I could actually focus on the chord finding process rather than endlessly listening to the original song and then tweaking it, because that is a trap that I found myself falling into many times over. I would listen to the music and then go back and tweak it. I would listen again and it wouldn't sound right and keep repeating that and find that I wasted an entire hour with that. And sometimes I just need to step back and come back another day with a fresh perspective. And I even surprise myself at what I can find with a new perspective on the music. Anyhow, those adjectives that describe the piece, I might actually keep those in the final product because it actually looks quite nice on there. You might notice throughout the time lapse that I don't actually type in each and every note in there, and I actually use some copy and pasting, which thank goodness, because otherwise it would take forever to get these out. Now, luckily, with pop songs, this song is a Vocaloid and it's J-pop, but these pop songs, there's a structure to it. So, for example, there's like a chorus that I can copy and paste, and that saves so much time with it because for the most part, the bass for it can just be copied and pasted in, and I don't need to adjust too much to it. I still need to adjust to make sure that it sounds right with the different melody that is there. But otherwise, it saves so much time just copy and pasting it and then quickly adjusting it. And of course, you'll see quite a lot of pauses in this time lapse. That's me playing the piano and hearing everything out. A lot of times I'll just leave it there and play out something, and then if it sounds good, I'll come back to it. And by the way, this is already at 32 times speed. So those 2-3 second pauses actually take up quite a bit of time. The setup that I usually have on my computer when I'm transcribing is one, the actual song, the original song. It's usually a YouTube video, and then Musescore, so then I have something to actually make the sheet music. And of course, I'll have OBS open just so I can screen capture or do a window capture, so then I can film these videos. You'll notice that I play the YouTube video back a lot in the beginning part. That's because I'm basically copying it down or playing it on the piano and then copying it down. But later on, I actually play the YouTube video less because I am making my own bass to the melody that I've already had down. This is my time where I try to put my own twist to it and make the song sound like how I want it to sound. Because with these songs, sometimes they're not actually piano pieces. The song I transcribed before was an electronic piece, and electronic songs, they sound quite a bit different from piano pieces. So me transcribing it into a piano, it changed some of how the song felt, so I needed to create my own bass for that. With this, there is already a piano in there, but I would still like to put my own twist to it and my own feelings and not actually copy it down as if this was just an instrumental version. This is why I don't call it an instrumental, but rather my piece, but transcribed onto a piano. If there's one thing that still gets me every time I make these transcriptions, it's that it takes so freaking long to make these. Oh my gosh. It takes so long because you have to play back the song, the original song, and also what you've made so far every time you go sit down at the piano and transcribe. You have to play that back, and that adds up. It takes so long, and then once you think you've gotten a part of the song transcribed, you go back and play from some good context, and I swear 75% of my time is just listening to what I've made or listening to the original song. It just takes so long to get these out. Sometimes I even play back both the transcription I've made and the original song at the same time, just so I can check to see if it flows, if the tempo matches up, and if everything sounds smooth. Now, so far, with this current transcription, I've gotten the melody and I've also harmonized it. So I will be working on actually getting the rhythm for the bass and polishing this up in the future. Now, in the future, I want to make some improvements. I want to change this. I realize that you guys probably don't want to see me switching back and forth between Musescore and YouTube and sometimes accidentally hitting OBS. You probably only want to see Musescore, so in the future, I will be doing a window capture of Musescore instead. I'll also fix the OBS settings and the audio settings, as well as improving my speaking abilities so that I can bring you guys a better quality video. And also, the future time lapses will probably be slower because they'll be more frequent, which means there will be less content. This first one, all this content was compiled over more than a month, so there was a lot to put together. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this first vlog video. I'd appreciate it if you leave some feedback about what I can improve and if you guys if you guys want to see more of these. And well, with that, I would like to thank you guys for sticking to the end of this, and also thank you for all the support that you guys have provided me and allowed me to get here. I couldn't have done this without you guys. So, this is the first episode of Themindhere, and I'll see you guys around.